The facade of the this is the facade of the Church of the Annunciation in Nazareth. That's where Mary met the angel, and you can see a few things here. There are four evangelists, of course, Mary, and the angel is above, and above them you can see Jesus himself. But the most important thing here in that new church from the 1969 is the door. I call it 3D Bible tour. From here you cannot see, but you see it, but from here you can. Then there's so many things to talk about it, and there's not a lot of time, but you can see here Bethlehem. Jesus was born there, and later on they flee to Egypt. When they came from Egypt, after King Herod died, they came to Nazareth, and according to tradition, because the Bible never said that he was a carpenter, Jesus was a helper. Joseph, that was a carpenter. He was baptized by John at the Jordan River itself, and you can see the Sea of Galilee, maybe the Sermon on the Mount, and of course the crucifixion of Jesus. This is the most important site in Israel and the West Bank, Palestine, Palestinian territory, Holy Land. And now we are going to the church. Inside the church I cannot talk, then I'll try to do that quietly. But the church is totally new in Italian brutalism architecture style. The most important thing is that we are the only one here. Usually there are hundreds of people. And to tell you that it's a coronavirus area, you can see, yeah, you know what it is. And the sign said, please be quiet.
And also they changed the sign because usually the default is in English because most of the visitors are tourists, but nowadays only locals.
Yeah, only Israelis.
So they change it in Hebrew.
Yes, true. Then let's go in. Think that you can see here. First of all, you can see that this is a Catholic church. All right, I don't need to talk about it. You can see it. Secondly, to make it more problematic for non-Catholic, there's a lot of M's here. Mary, Mary, Mary. That's M. But there's hundreds like that. M, Mary, Mary, Mary. Why it's annoying to the, let's say, evangelist or to the Protestant? Because the story of the biggest church in the Middle East, it's about Mary, not about Jesus. Now, Jesus was here for 30 years too.
Is this the biggest church in the Middle East?
Yes, and he dedicated to Mary. Then the light of God is above, and the daily church, which is closed now.
And also you can see that the style of this church is brutalism, which
Yeah,
is
but you can repeat it. All right, what we can see here. Let's start with the closed things. This is a mikveh, which is a Jewish ritual bath to tell you that Nazareth was a Jewish village until the 7th century. Now, that wall, according to the the Franciscans, is a wall from the 1st century, and it was part of the first synagogue that was built by Jews who believed in Jesus. This is the 5th station, a 5th century church facing to the east. And look at the mosaic floor. That mosaic floor tells us that this is not later than the 5th century, because until the 5th century you could decorate it, the floor with crosses, but not anymore. Then it's not later than the 5th one. Let's look at the house of Mary. First of all, it's a cave. We are talking about poor people. Then when we go to the cave itself, I will talk about something special for me. Then let's make a run tour. We're heading to the house of Mary. daily church, which is the second floor, is closed. Now, we believe that that was the kitchen of Mary. The angel was standing where right here. And look at the altar, it says. And the word became a flesh, but they added one word which is unique to us and not to your country. And the word became flesh here. And this is the difference between the Holy Land churches, the Israeli churches, than your church. And why cave? Because we are talking about a very poor family, and it was a choke. Then in that case it was easy to build it. I never been there, mainly because of security. It's not as safe as they said, but I've never been there. This is the closest place for me to the house of Mary as well. If you will continue, you can see another. First of all, again, 5th century floor. And here, somewhere here it's dedicated to Canon, who built that church, at least that there.
The first one.
And the funny thing, only the 5th century. Most important churches.
After the churches of Bethlehem and Jerusalem.
I really wonder why.
Because again, back then Nazareth wasn't accessible, it wasn't significant at all. It was a small village,
Easier.
far away from the main way.
Yeah. Then this is the house of Mary. I want you to see something else. Look at the painting. Look at the colors. And
On the right side, it looks like in Arabic,
No, I think it's a
decoration.
And the wall from the 12th century. Crusader time.
And behind the current one from the 20s.
Yeah, of course. Cement. Beautiful, isn't it? Sorry?
The second floor is closed.
It's closed.
From the center to the top.
From God, the light of the the light of God. It's June 2020, Nazareth, Israel, Church of the Annunciation.